Welcome back to the show. It's me, Hugh. Jen is here. This is our home stretch.
This is amazing.
Show. It's been a great
really
show so far, right?
Oh, yeah. I like the variety.
And now it's getting
even more varied.
Even better.
Yes.
Because Nikole Bélanger is here. And Nikole, it's great to see you. We were just trying to think when the last time you were on the show.
That would be about, it was 2006 or 7.
See, that's a long time ago. That's
Yes.
over 10 years ago.
Oui, time goes fast when you have fun.
Well, yeah.
Sorry. I was busy.
Well, I don't know what happened. We sort of lost touch. Of course, I've had a long journey, as you can imagine.
We all have.
Right?
I mean, that's the name of the game, they say.
Yeah.
But it's great because every time we have long journey, we learn and we grow.
So as we were just talking before we came on the air, you are a lifelong entrepreneur, and
Yes.
You got a bit of a mission because you're working on environmental sustainability. I know you used to do some work with Al Gore.
I've been with Mr. Al Gore for the past 10 years. I was trained by Mr. Gore in 2008 in Montreal, beginning of 2008.
Yeah.
With Mr. David Suzuki and so on. It was great because when I was very young, I was a very, very sick child, and the doctors told my mother that I wouldn't make it as a teen.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother sent me to the farm, very far away. So she put me in a car with a little suitcase on the back seat of the car for about 16 hours. I didn't want to get out of the car. So when I arrived at my aunt with that beautiful, those beautiful farm homes.
Where was
with
it?
the white apron. It's about 60 to 70 miles further than Quebec City.
On the North Shore?
Yes, so it's
Okay.
quite far.
Yeah.
And it's one of the biggest farm for maple syrup and everything.
Wow.
And, I mean, she was the Martha Stewart before Martha Stewart was in, right? So I learned from the greatest, and she taught me everything from the farm, everything about food. And in those days, we had minerals in the earth. So she used to feed me from the land, literally. And I was a little bit, I'm a city girl, so I used to look at her and says, but ma tante, you didn't wash it. She says, eat, my darling. This is good for you.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So that's what I did for months and months and months. And she put me back on my feet. And every summer I was going back and stay with her. I just loved the woman. And later on in life, Mr. Gore made a documentary about him when he was going to the farm of his father with the family and everything. He got married and left with a passion for the farm. And so I saw the documentary on him, and he was vice president at that time, and everybody thought he's a tree hugger and everything, but he didn't win the election. And look the work he did. So we're talking about challenge, and we all grow from it if we're on the right path. And he was, obviously, and did an inconvenient truth and started to train 250 people everywhere in the world. And when Canada came, he chose Montreal because we are the most environmentally friendly. And so he decided to train the people from Canada in Montreal.
I just heard there were 50,000 people on the streets of Montreal yesterday
Ah oui,
protesting. It was for the environment. I think they were protesting the federal conservative leaders' plan to get rid of all the carbon credit.
Totally.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They cannot do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I can't imagine 50,000 people on the streets of Toronto, but you can get them out in Montreal.
Well, we are the activists. I was a teen and I was the activist against the Vietnam War. Against, I can go on and on and on. So yes, and start my first business at 13 by cutting hair in the kitchen of my mother. So my mother was washing hair and I was cutting them. So I've been an entrepreneur and model at 16 and had a great career and moved in Toronto and went in a business of transmission distribution. And one of the few women in that industry. It was very interesting, actually. Wonderful.
Transmissions.
Yes, and the sleeve that we were applying was environmentally friendly at that time.
Okay.
Without being green, was environmentally at that time. So I've been always in the verge of new technology and new application and finding solution to everything. This is my passion. Mm-hmm. When somebody's telling me, Nikole, we cannot do this, c'est impossible. And I'm going to tell them, no. It's impossible until it's not possible. And we can try to make it possible because I believe that it's a solution and a way to everything we do in life.
Okay, so now today we're talking about green schools.
Green Future.
Green Future.
Yes, .org. And this is an important project for me. It's a humanitarian project. And I went to a lot of fundraising for building school in Ecuador, a little bit of everywhere in the world. It's good intent. Mm-hmm. And I did my part by being a donor. Though it came to Haiti, Haiti, the big earthquake that they had close to 7 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. So a dear friend of mine and a colleague of mine was there and working and do everything he can and join Red Cross. At one point, they want to know if the Clint Foundation, because, they're very some sort of active in Haiti. So they want to know if it was what they would contribute because, they were not there yet. So they call me and Red Cross and ask me if I can get in touch and find out if anything is on the go. So they told me that it took 2 weeks to get to them. And they told me that they would send, hundreds and hundreds of trucks with bottle of plastic water. So I told them, well, we solve an immediate problem, but we're creating another problem because they don't have recycling. So it's mean that the plastic of bottles is going to hang on the beach or in the ocean. Mm-hmm. So I had a client with a technology to clean water without spending millions and billions and would have been on the longer term. But I says, well, we can right now, we're going to let you know. But they never came back to me. So all the time, I think that millions of dollars is being given for many, many cause. In the end of the day, it's important to follow up and see where they stand after the fact. So I went to a fundraising about 3-4 years ago. And it's the same thing, you ask and they built, it was a big piece of land and a father, Père Garot, a father, was having a big piece of land and took as much as he could, children and family that couldn't rebuild their home and they have nothing, they had nowhere to go. So go to the fundraising, and I said to myself, must be another way. So let me think about that. Mm-hmm. So I went back to my office, and I decided to close the door and to put myself at the table and start to think and see how can I solve this long-term problem to a better way to come out of it. And already education, I find out, because we work with a lot of volunteers, and they all at university or high school. So I did my research too, and I find out that, the textbook and everything, they are 50-year-old already.
Right.
So, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
So with the notion of all that, and Ecuador was another one that they send books and they with good intention. This is very, very important. People do have good intention. The only thing is when they send book, it doesn't cover the curriculum that the children supposed to cover to say we did mid-school, high school. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's great, but it's not good enough because after that, they're more advanced, but not really there. So my intent was, what can we do to solve this problem? I'm an environmentalist. For me, it's hugely important what we put in the environment. The books, a lot of books were story, children's story books. It doesn't give you much for the curriculum. So I know that some of them end up in a fireplace and they cook their food on the top and everything. So because it's paper, right?
Right.
So what I decide to do is to build a school and what it would be needed to make it, once it's done, it's over. We don't have to fundraise anymore. It's a sustainable cycle that it's complete by itself.
So we create its own ecosystem.
Yes, to create their own ecosystem. So I find a company here in Canada who does home inside of a big plant, and they put them down, put them in container, and we would ship them to all the country where we were open the school. The school would have only table and sustainable material, chair, laptop, and a big blackboard, and maybe one teacher. Because according to the world research on that, we have 17 million teacher in the world, and we're going to need 65 million by 2030. It's only barely 11 years from here. So I don't think that we're going to get there. So the best way to go is to put them online with the Khan Academy and abcmouse.com for the little children until grade 7. And here we go. So I decide that that's the way we're going to do it. We're going to create solar panel on the top of the school and a wall, power wall it's called, and the first one is in Canada. They bought the franchise from Tesla. And that power wall keep track on everything. So the solar panel is connected to the power wall, the laptop is connected to the power wall, and in the end of the week and the end of the month, they know how much they save and they're going to be able to resell. Then every school is coming with a vertical farm.
That's cool.
With aquaponics system and with the layers of greens. So they're going to be able, I create a kitchen to eat only breakfast and lunch. And after that, it's closed. So we have to put them in organize that it makes sense. The food for dinner is going to be saved, not taken, and resell it to the resort, close to them, hotel or restaurant, and they can go see them and says, listen, we have fresh food, fresh fish, and fresh greens, and you can promote this on your menu as a resort that, you offer that to your client, right? Is that cool?
And they get the bragging rights of doing something good for people too.
Exactly. So it's a win-win situation, and I always been after win-win.
I know. What kind of fish are you going to use?
It's every fish, every country we're going to go.
They have their own.
We have to find the cleanest fish and the easiest one and the healthy one.
Yeah.
And then we're going to keep them on the tank, and everything is being calculated. So to the T and to the minute.
All right.
So the children will have the curriculum to follow, and not only that, in the curriculum, they're going to have the system of aquaponic and aquaculture. It's going to be a given. They're going to have to. And they're going to learn how to install solar panel, how to calculate the saving on the power wall. Okay, so and in the curriculum, by being with the Khan Academy, they're going to learn how to do coding and blockchain.
Amazing. So the things that they actually need to know for the current world.
For now and the future, because in next 10 years, nothing is going to work the way that it's working now.
What's going to happen?
Driveless car, everything.
Oh.
Robot, you're coming home, they tell you what it's going to be the dinner and everything. I mean, it's a complete turnaround. I'm telling you. Oh, yes. So these children should deserve to have a place, and more we raise the community, developing community around the world, more everybody benefit from it, because it's going to be a lot of green leaders coming out of that we don't know them because they never had the tools to give us to get in order to give us an amazing new technology that they're going to come up with. So my goal is to produce green leaders and to not shortchange these children. They need a chance to, like all of our children in developing country and everywhere else in the world.
Now, where are you putting these schools?
The first one, we hope to finish by 2019 in Haiti.
Okay.
And after that, we have a series of demand that it's coming in right now. We just launched a project, but we think that we're going to be very busy.
Now, you mentioned that you found, so the schools are kind of like a kit? You ship
Exactement.
the kit to...
That's it. And they come with a protocol, and they have to follow everything.
Just follow the instructions.
Yes. And I'm going to go visit them every 3 months, 6 months, and eventually the whole system is going to work in harmony, right? That's the goal. Because I don't believe in fundraising in a continuous cycle. Poverty, it's a state of mind.
Yeah.
So if you change the state of mind and you give them the opportunity to not live in poverty and to not have to sell their body or their kidney or whatever they need to survive, I think that's going to be great. And this is when we're going to stop all the cycle of poverty.
So this is really the sustainability. In other words, because if you have to continually subsidize something like this with, donations, well, that's no good.
And
government
contribution and everything is ça finit plus. Everybody's complaining, everybody is, but in the end of the day, what is the result? Do we keep track of all that?
When it's so hard, if a government changes every 2 or every 4 years, and they're going to have different policies, so you're at their mercy.
You start from zero.
You're at their
all
mercy.
the time.
Like they cut your funding, you're out of business, right?
Wait.
But if you can be sustainable, financially sustainable,
Financially sustainable and technologically sustainable.
and environmentally sustainable.
And environmentally sustainable. So we creating a definite win-win situation. And right now at the school in Haiti, they work in the dark. They don't have the electricity because they're still waiting for the fundraising campaign to give them the
Solar
opportunity.
panels.
No, not even there. They don't even have the inside finish.
Oh.
No window. So when it rains, the water comes in, and then when it's later during the day or it's a bad day, they work in the dark. And the children will do that with a big smile.
What's it going to take to get some windows in that thing?
Well, the school of Green Schools, Green Future comes with window and everything.
Oh, I see.
So
Oh,
they,
oh.
yes, though the company is Terra Green Home, that's the one that I went to visit. It could be many, many more to go visit, but until now, this is the one that I went to visit. And they do only home inside. So what I did is with just graduate from Waterloo University about architecture urbanist. She helped me before she found a big position, and she did. She left for Brazil. She got an amazing opportunity there. She's extremely talented. So we sit together for about a month. Not every day, but you know what I'm saying. We sit together and we went through detail by detail for the inside of that school in order to bring it to Terra Green Home and says, here, this is what a school looked like.
So you had a hand in the actual design
Yes.
of the school itself.
Yes, the maquette is on the homepage of Green Schools, Green Future. The design, the plan, I call it maquette. I'm French, sorry.
Yeah, I was just trying to. I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can try to bring that up. But greenschoolsgreenfutures.com. Green Future or Futures?
No, Green Schools, Green Future.
.com.
Meaning that it's not just a school, but we're giving them the opportunity to create a future for themselves.
Right. Well, it sounds like we might almost need those here in Canada.
Well, if the Indigenous community would love to give me the opportunity to make a presentation on PowerPoint to them and to explain all that. So on the computer, right? So we're looking for Microsoft or Apple or a generous contributor and partner. The computer, they can, because I know for the Indigenous, it's important to keep their language and you know, what they need, that they believe that it's very important to them, so we can keep it on the curriculum.
Yeah.
Right? So we don't want to argue with anybody. We just want to add and make sure that after they follow the curriculum, they can go to university. If not, at least they have an amazing base and a future, a trade that they learn on the way there.
It's great that, I mean, there's so many Indigenous communities that don't have any teachers at all, or the kids are getting bused a couple of hours, and that would be incredible.
Yes.
No.
I'm starting to approach them. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it would be, for sure, I would be thrilled.
Well, this is the kind of thing that really, if it gets going, right, and you can really prove the concept and its effectiveness in one or two locations, that you can scale the project and put it everywhere. I mean, I could see it going all over the world.
Definitely.
Right, because you're creating, well, they're green schools, and you're developing green leaders for the future.
Yes. For me, it's very important. That's the key. Beside the school and all the technology and the application that will give them, we really, I'm looking for the green leaders that it's going to come out from there. And the vertical farm next to the school, because it's all built and connected, who knows? They might triple it, they might quadruple it, they might come up with another system.
Well, it's a whole food security thing too.
Ben, c'est ça.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're looking for, or what are you looking for? Are you looking for partners or sponsors or
Partners,
anyone
very
else?
specific for the
green schools?
the laptop.
Oh, I see.
Computer,
You need that
right?
kind of stuff.
Yes, we need Tesla. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah.
So for the power wall and the solar. The vertical farm, we have Ripple Farm, two Canadian young fellow who didn't want to be lawyers, and they decided to put Ripple Farm, a project. You can find them a sample of what they do at Evergreen.
Okay, I've seen it then. Yeah, it's
Yes.
wonderful.
And they're doing another one in York, at York University. And they're looking for the real big one, that it would be in the city and grow so much greens that they would be the one who feed all the restaurant, you know?
Right, and with city-grown food security in
C'est
the
ça,
city.
exact. Alors, it's Ripple Farm for that. So mainly, I'm quite good
Yeah.
for now, but my next one, it's laptop and the solar, Tesla, and so on. So I put already the future partner and the
Yeah.
existing partner, I put them online on our partner page. So they say, think big. And I think big. I already display them on the website.
Okay, so, and what is the website? Like, just so people have it, is it greenschoolsgreenfuture.com? Is that right?
.org.
.org.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a charitable. We have a shop, and they can go through the shop. Why? Because we have Anne-Marie, essential oil, cosmetic treatment, everything. So every time they go through, they click on Anne-Marie, they can go to the website, they can choose whatever they want, and it's an affiliate, so we get a certain, fee commission, and it goes to fundraising. In the meantime, it's to the education part that says it is something out there that you can use.
Mm-hmm. So already people can go and support the project just by going onto the website.
To shop.
And just shopping there.
We have Amazon, but Amazon, we display the product that we think that it can be great to replace what you already use, that it's not that environmental, and a new application or a product that we think would make a huge difference. And we display, per se, a mini vertical farm. Mm-hmm. So the fish are there and the greens are growing faster than the regular one. Why? Mm-hmm. Because the fish create a natural organic fertilizer.
Yes, they have a little factory that makes the fertilizer. The fish.
The fish.
Yeah.
Truly.
No, I know. They have a little fish factory.
So it's quite amazing, and children need to learn from that.
That's wonderful.
So the mini one is sold on Amazon, so we're going to display that one. We're not going to display anything else.
So you're offering a whole bunch of products that are, like from the sustainable future already, right?
Yes, and we even accept Bitcoin as a donation. I'm still waiting for the donor who's coming from Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
Listen, life is wonderful.
Yeah.
I believe that as long as you're active, your brain is active, life is wonderful, right?
See, Jen, all you have to do is make your brain active and life will be wonderful.
See, I can understand with all you're doing and with, working with Al Gore and everything else, I can understand why you haven't seen Hugh in a while. You've been busy.
I've been busy. A lot of my colleague or friend, not my colleague, but my friend, says, "Oh, Nikole, you work all the time. It's crazy, 7 days a week. Why are you doing all these projects, humanitarian projects, after everything you did?" And I said, "Girls, that's where I'm going. I know this is a part of what I'm supposed to do before I'm going to go. And I intend to open as many of them. Uganda, it's somebody there that I have people working on this, that apparently he bought a huge amount of land in Uganda, and he wants everything sustainable to happen in that land. So now...
So you have to have a school there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I sent to the universe, LinkedIn, where are you? So I have to find this human being who just did that, and it would be wonderful. It's a dream come true. But nevertheless, everywhere, it's great.
Okay, Nikole, I want to come to Uganda if you ever have to go there and visit the school that's no doubt going to be built there one day.
You gonna come with me?
I would love to.
Yes. You coming too?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I want to go to Lake Victoria and swim in the lake,
That would be nice.
the largest lake in Africa.
Yes, yes, indeed.
The
That
source
would
of
be
the
wonderful.
Nile. The storied.
But this one, it's my consultation. I'm a consultant. For high technology application, everything needs to be sustainable. If they do a project, I'm going to bring the sustainable part of it to make sure that the project that my client is building take as an advice that whatever he does, it needs to be a big part that it's going to be sustainable to make this project even better.
Okay.
So you're always looking ahead and solving problems before they happen.
Solving the
Yes.
problems. That's it. And that's what we need. Otherwise, how can we be sustainable? How can we
Mr.
even have a
Gore
future?
says that the solution is here now.
Who said that?
Mr. Gore. So I said, oh, yes, I know. I'm already there, Mr. Gore. I hear you. I take courses. I go for training for the Climate Reality Project Canada. I go for training everywhere in the world where he has them every 2 years. So I went 5 times. I've been trained 5 times in 10 years.
Well,
And it's all on a volunteer basis. It's not about money. It's about being part of the change and the change you want to see in the world.
okay, well, I think we just heard some great examples of that right now. So people can go to your Green Schools, greenfuture.org website. They can
Yes.
see the maquette of the schools.
Yes.
And of course, they can reach you at nicolebell.solutions.
Solution, because that's what I do.
Okay, Nikole. Well, we'll have to get you back more often than every 10 years so that we can keep up with all the
Absolutely.
latest and greatest stuff that you're doing. So, and
Thank you.
don't forget, people, you've got those contact websites. If you could be a potential partner or sponsor with Nikole,
Yes.
you know where to go there.
Without the partners, we can do that much. So yes, we're going to fundraise and we can pay for the first one, but it would be so much easier and so much fun
Yeah.
to have to create a team with partners that everybody pitch in and everybody make it happen.
Exactly.
The project is not about me. I'm not on an ego trip.
Well, I know.
No, it's about teamwork to create the change
Yeah, and the future, actually.
and the future.
Okay, Nikole, thank you for coming in and filling us in with all this great stuff.
I don't want to move to Mars. I just want to stay here.
Me too.
I would do just about anything to keep this beautiful planet of ours.
Yeah. Me
Thank
too. I don't want
you.
to move to Mars either. It's too cold.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jen, thanks for doing this today as well.
Great show.
Yeah, it was a great show. So we're going to say thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Oh, don't forget, we got Crypto Bay. You know, we do a crypto meetup every Tuesday night, tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on thatchannel.com.
Superb.
Come on down to the studio,
Yes.
and we'll be back tomorrow for more Liquid Lunch at 1 o'clock here on that channel. See you
Yay.
then. Bye-bye.